Do you have a heart for service? Would you like to learn ways that you can train your kids in godly character? Do you want to learn ways to cultivate your child's servant's heart? Then stay tuned to learn more. Hi, I'm Kimberly, and welcome back to my channel. It's Only Homeschooling. I'm a licensed professional counselor turned homeschool mom of one. From homeschool hacks to teaching tips, I want to encourage you in your homeschooling journey through advocacy, community, and resources. In part 1 of our It's Your Serve series, we examined some of the attitudes, barriers, and beliefs that get in the way of Christian service. In part 2, we discussed 10 reasons why you should teach about serving others in your homeschool. Today, in part 3, we help you find ways to cultivate a servant's heart in your homeschool. I love metaphors. So for today, with the 10 steps to teach you how to cultivate a servant's heart in your homeschool, I'm going to use the metaphor of growing a garden. Now, if anyone happens to be watching this video that knows me really well, they know that the only thing I'm actually good at growing is mold. When I shared with my husband and my son that I was going to actually use this metaphor to teach this concept, I got a raised eyebrow from one and a giggle from the other. Plants tend to commit hara-kiri in my presence. It's true. I had a very dear friend and homeschool mom who actually gave me marigolds to plant and grow because they're supposed to be, she gave me marigold seeds. They're supposed to be the easiest plants to grow. They didn't make it. I'm sorry, Angela. I tried. Yet I will say that I do understand the process even if I'm not good at executing it in action. So, moving on. Step 1. Consider the climate. The climate is like your personal environment or your family background. In part 1, 10 barriers that block Christians from serving, we talked about how our families of origin lay the foundation for our expectations. Whether it's serving, tithing, or the proper way to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yes, my husband and I actually have very different opinions on how one should make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. There's some technique here. We all come into our marriages with preset notions of how things should be done. We all carry over remnants of our past, which in turn impacts how we behave in the present. What did service look like in your family of origin? Communication is key. Talk with your spouse about your personal service goals and expectations. Consider making service a family affair. Model for your kids what service to others should look like. Step 2. Gather your supplies. What will you need to teach service in your homeschool? While I advocate for many things, from developmental coordination disorder to awareness, spreading awareness of it, to sensory processing disorder, mental health, homeschooling children with learning differences, and of course, advocating for service, outreach, and volunteerism, and encouraging others to branch out and step outside of their comfort zones, to engage in more service of others. And I also advocate for homeschooling in general. I also believe you simply cannot own too many books. It's not possible. We are voracious readers in our house. Our first seeds of stewardship were planted through bedtime stories, and here are a few of our favorites. Sowing seeds through these stories at bedtime, or if you do tea time with poetry, or a lot of times I will read a book with my son. When he was little, I would read it to him while he was in the bath, or I will even read it while I'm making dinner, as long as I'm not having to be by the stove. Now he reads to me. But the point is, I built that healthy habit, and I picked tools that I could use during those times together. Audiobooks are great for the car, but it is a good habit to get into, and there is a wealth of information out there. There are also study guides and curriculums that help promote service, and here's a few of our favorites. Step 3, prepare the soil. Just like with work or with hobbies, consider your interests when you are choosing a service project or an outreach opportunity. We are all more likely to participate in something that we are interested in. Aligning your service goals with your areas of interest is a recipe for success. As your comfort level grows, you will be more apt to step out in faith and step out of your comfort zone to other areas where you may be needed. But start with what is familiar and move forward from there. If you like to cook, consider joining a meal train where you can make lasagnas that you can pop in your freezer so that can be ready to go and grab and drop off at someone's house for someone who may have just had a surgery or for someone who may be a shut-in. Do you like to work with your hands? Are you good at carpentry? Or maybe you can do some electrical work? Do you like to make things? Maybe consider knitting some blankets for the homeless. Maybe consider volunteering with a serve team to help build a ramp for someone who needs better access into their home. Options are limitless. The only thing that limits them is your imagination. Step 4. Be sure to give plenty of space. Don't try to do it all at once. Sometimes when we get excited and we want to help, we think of all the different things that we can do. And then we try to do all of them at the same time. That is a recipe for disaster. Balance is key. Your goal is consistency. Doesn't matter how small you start, just make sure to wash, rinse, and repeat. It may take a bit of trial and error in arranging and rearranging your schedule to get service hours in. But unless you need a signature on a log, there is no need to aim for a specific set of hours. Think of service time as more of a general goal. 1 day a month for however long the activity takes. Just start somewhere. Also, be sure to clear with agencies you are volunteering with about how much time you have to contribute or that you need to contribute. You don't want to leave them short if they need someone for that time. Let someone else fill that slot. Miscommunication can lead to unnecessary hurt feelings and gaps in service. When we serve, we want to serve well. Step 5. Plant the seed. Long before we chose curriculum, joined co-ops, or signed up for extracurricular activities, or even became hybrid homeschoolers as we are now, we encouraged 3 things in our home: gratitude, generosity, and empathy. We are voracious readers in our house, so the first seeds we planted were through bedtime stories. And here are some of our favorites. Step 6. Water the garden, but just enough. Start when your kids are small. Find serve opportunities that allow you to take your kids with you. We started small with small projects, such as collecting cans for food drives, culling items of gently used clothing or toys for donation, and adopting families in need around the holiday season from family trees. We sprinkled various service opportunities throughout the year, often enough to keep the activity fresh in our son's mind, but not so frequent until he burned out. He thought these activities were fun. Like one time, a local food bank allowed him to stack the cans on the shelves. He was having a blast, and he thought he was being a big kid, and he was. But what we saw as parents was that his seed was watered. As he grew in age, so did our expectations for him, and so did the amount of responsibility we would give to him in service activities. Soon, he was coming up with ideas for service projects on his very own. Projects which inspired our current Salt and Light Serve Spotlight podcast series. Children may be small, but that doesn't mean that their dreams cannot grow to a reality. They just need support and encouragement from their parents. Make sure to water those seeds. Step 7. Deadhead as needed. Boredom and routine are killers of so many things, whether it's curriculum, hobby, movies, dinners. Yes, I make sometimes the same things on repeat because they're easy and I don't want to have the thought. But every now and then my family will speak up and say, could we have something different? Yes, we probably should. Boredom and routine can also kill your service game. Fortunately, there is no shortage of opportunities for you to volunteer. Spread your service around. Try out a new organization each month. You can always rotate back to your favorites again later. Plus, you don't know that you like something unless you try it. If you're looking for new ideas or suggestions for ways or places to serve, look no further than social media. I am a member of a Random Acts of Kindness volunteer group on Facebook. There are similar groups on Instagram, and you can search for them on Pinterest. I'm sure there are some on Twitter, or at the time of me filming this, I think it's called X now. But there is no shortage of opportunity for you to find opportunities to volunteer. You just have to be willing to go search for them. Check out your church's bulletin or inquire about joining the Serve team. Still not sure where to go? Then check out one of my son's and my family's favorite places to go, justserve.org. Just Serve acts as a middleman, aligning volunteers with community agencies in need of assistance. There are even opportunities you can take part in from the comfort of your own home. Sign up to volunteer and let Just Serve help match you with an organization near you. Step 8, pest control. Distractions happen to all of us. Failing to deal with them effectively can impede our ability to volunteer. We all get sick. We all have sleepless nights now and then. Sometimes we just have bad days. There are deadlines at work, soccer practice, unexpected bills, unforeseen inconveniences at best, or catastrophes at worst. Life just happens. Whatever your obstacle is, name it. Own it. Feel whatever you feel about it. But don't stay in it. While service can certainly help bring us closer to God, it is really not about us at all. It is all about Him. No matter what storm we are going through, we can still help someone else weather theirs. Step 9, harvest. Now that you have laid the foundation with books and gathered your teaching materials, it's time to harvest the seeds you have sown. Hand the reins over to your child and see what service projects they come up with, and then support them with the following steps. Observe. As often as we can, we provide our child with opportunities to observe us or other people serving, either through our church or in the community. If we cannot provide an in-person experience, YouTube is a great stand-in. To learn more about how we use YouTube safely in our homeschool, check out our blog at itsonlyhomeschooling.com or click on the links in the description box below, where I'll play some of the videos where we talk about YouTube schooling and how to use YouTube safely in your homeschool. So observe first, then brainstorm with your child. We talk with our son about his big ideas all of the time and imagine individually what this might look like. Next, we share out loud what each of us thinks is the best way to help make his fantasy into a reality. And then finally, we brainstorm a list of tasks we think might be needed to help us accomplish this goal. Next step, make a plan. Together, we formulate a plan of action. Then we break down the plan into further manageable steps. Finally, we write down the specific action steps. When glitches occur, and they're going to occur, we talk through them about any possible roadblocks or obstacles that got in our way, and then we brainstorm solutions and ways to navigate around or through them. The point is we don't let it to completely discourage us or abandon the idea. No, this is a problem-solving life skill lesson that we want him to learn, that he can apply to other things, so many things through life. Finally, we put his plan into action. We do the task together and modify our original plan as needed. Wash, rinse, repeat. These are the steps to cultivating a servant's heart. And finally, step 10, you share in the bounty. When something feels this good, we tend to not keep it to ourselves. Invite others to join along on your service adventures. Encourage your kiddos to ask their friends. Host serve parties. Why not? I have a friend who gathers groups of parents from her kiddos' elementary school each holiday season to work collaboratively in support of Operation Christmas Child. The group adopts anywhere from 10 to 20 children from the season to fill shoeboxes full of goodies. If you're not familiar with Operation Christmas Child, I will put a link in the description box below. Essentially, a list of supplies is recommended, and you take a shoebox and you purchase supplies from the list. You put the supplies in the box, and it is shipped off to children in poverty-stricken areas where they can have the message of God's love and the reason for the season about their Redeemer, Jesus Christ, for them during the holiday season, so they can feel that love, and also to preach to them and evangelize to them during the holiday season. It's a beautiful project. Operation Christmas Child is one of our favorites. But during these serve parties, if you will, my friend gets several mommies together from her child's elementary school class, and they kind of do an assembly line of sorts, where one person might buy 10 items of this, and another person might buy 10 items of that, and then they all come together to celebrate in service. During a season when most kids are thinking about what they would like themselves, they're taking this opportunity as a teachable moment to have their children learn about thinking about others who are less fortunate than them. It is a beautiful project and a fun alternative in lieu of exchanging gifts. I don't know about you, but I know our child gets so much, and after a while, so much is just so much. And we need to learn about sharing the bounty and sharing the wealth and sharing the joy that is God's love through cultivating a servant's heart. I hope you have enjoyed this It's Your Serve series, and I hope you have taken some time to think about ways that you might be able to up your serve game in your homeschool. Service efforts do not have to look like the grand gestures that you see featured in our Salt and Light Serve Spotlight podcast series. The smallest acts of kindness can carry the greatest weight. We hope you have felt inspired to up your serve game. And if you like this video, please consider clicking the like button so it will let YouTube know that you would like to see more content like this. And please consider subscribing to our channel so that you can know when new videos arrive about all sorts of things homeschooling, from supporting your homeschooler with learning differences to advocating for outreach service and volunteerism, or to learning about tips and tricks and all sorts of support and homeschooling encouragement. For now, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.